This is Natalie Hutchinson. We've just received breaking news that former running back and actor O.J. Simpson was just acquitted of first-degree murder in the killings of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson's attorney, Johnny Cochran, had O.J. try on a bloodstained glove, which was the most damning evidence that linked him to the crime, in order to prove that it could not be O.J.'s glove. The glove indeed was too small for Simpson's hands, and Cochran uttered the phrase, "If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit." Catchy. After 4 hours of deliberation, the jury found Simpson not guilty. The story is still developing, more on that later. Back to you, Erin.
Thank you for that, Natalie. Up next, we have Aletta Thompson, who will be discussing the recent tech boom in America.
It's the year 1998, and the tech boom is a hot topic right now. As many of us know, technology is our future, and it has become very popular in the past few years to invest in internet startup companies we all know as the dot-coms. Will these companies be worth billions? While many of these companies have promising technologies or explosive growth, most of them are not yet profitable, and while it looks like a great opportunity to make money, people should exercise caution. This image shows the growth of the NASDAQ index from the tech boom so far. It has already spiked dramatically, and we could see this trend continue for some time as technology growth continues. But what happens if profits don't follow for these companies? How long can investors bid up prices and see no positive financial results? No one wants to miss out on this exciting time, but be careful, America. In our next segment, we have Erin Adams live in Columbine, Colorado.
Breaking news tonight as we are coming to you live from the scene in Columbine, Colorado. We're witnessing the aftermath of a horrific national tragedy. 2 Columbine High School students entered the school at around 11:20 this morning and began an unimaginable attack on their fellow students. It has been reported to have lasted less than an hour. Reliable sources have informed us that there have been 13 confirmed deaths, 12 students, and 1 teacher, as well as multiple injuries, making this the worst school shooting in U.S. history. In a recent briefing, police have confirmed the suspects to be dead by suicide. The suspects have also been identified as 17-year-old Dylan Klebold and 18-year-old Eric Harris. A student who survived the attack has told reporters they believe the attack to be a senior prank, before realizing what it truly was and fleeing the school. One student reported that the suspects were a part of the Trenchcoat Mafia, who were a group of loners that were bullied by others in the school, whereas another student said that the suspects were relatively popular and did the bullying themselves. This shocking event has brought nothing but sadness and confusion as to how something like this could have ever happened. As police continue to search for a motive, questions remain as to how the suspects gained access to the weapons and how they entered the school without being stopped. Back to you, Natalie.
The Y2K bug has millions concerned that technology will be unable to adapt to the turn of the millennium, thereby causing worldwide issues in time formatting and calendar dates on computers. However, some have acted quite boldly in the face of this dilemma. Joining us today is Angela Final Girl, president of the Year 2000 Action Group. How are you today, Angela?
Thanks, I'm fine, except for, the crippling anxiety over the world ending.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Nothing much, just, worldwide disaster.
Well, how do you know that this big disaster is going to happen?
Well, let me ask you this, Natalie, how do you know it's not going to happen? I mean, besides businesses and computers crashing, the year 2000, it's just too perfect of a number. That's a great time for the end of the world,
So you're saying that this could bring on an apocalypse and everyone could die?
More or less.
Well, what happens when you eventually run out of food and water? You only have a limited amount, so... Angela? Angela, can you hear me? It seems that we're having some connection issues. Back to you, Aletta.
For the past couple of years, we've been experiencing the tech boom and observed a substantial increase in the NASDAQ index. From January 1995 to March 2000, it had risen 582%, climbing from about 700 to just over 5,000. Well, now it's 2001, and the dot-com bubble has burst. A speculative bubble was created as a result of the irrational excitement of uninformed investors that value trends over earnings related to internet and technology stocks. This became known as the dot-com bubble. It continued to grow until 1999, where we saw the beginning of its fall. In the year 2000, you can see the noticeable panic in the market, and now it's 2001 and the dot-com bubble has burst. Or should I say the dot-bomb bubble, as some are calling it. This is an article that was published just a few days ago regarding the crash and burn of dot-coms. Trillions of dollars in the stock market value have been lost. Technology companies are failing quickly and employee layoffs are accelerating. We can only assume that these consequences will last for years to come. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all for today on News America.